Man, what's good, YouTube, man? Today we're finna be discussing a very important topic, and I'm finna tell you guys something. The underground, it simply does not exist. Hold on now, I know a lot of y'all niggas like, man, what the fuck is this nigga talking about? Well, I'm actually finna get into a lot of details, giving you guys the top 4 reasonings why a lot of these so-called artists and rappers that y'all think are underground are actually mainstream. I'm sorry guys, but the views that these so-called underground artists that y'all call underground are actually fucking crazy. These guys are pulling in around 1 to 40 million viewers, on top of not to mention the streaming numbers they have across multiple DSPs. Example number 1 is going to be Osamason. Osamason currently has 1 million Spotify listeners, with his most popular song on there being I Know What You Did Last Summer, which has 11 million streams. Now let's compare him to another rapper who is in a whole other lane called Chucky. Chucky is a popular rapper from Chicago who blew up in early last year. He has 1 million Spotify listeners, as he is also considered a mainstream rapper as well among the drill scene. He has multiple music videos with 10 million views, not to mention multiple collabs with another popular underground rapper called Lucky. The fact that an artist who's literally considered underground is pulling in around the same numbers as someone who's considered mainstream goes to show that in the underground community that a lot of people's ideal of what it means to be mainstream is false and not perceived to be incorrect. A lot of these so-called underground artists are literally charting on the Billboard Hot 100 and 200, specifically the US one. A lot of you guys don't understand literally how much of an accomplishment it is to chart on the Hot 100, 200. That literally gives more eyes on you and create more notoriety for your brand and music. And not on top of that, not to mention how many doors, opportunity, and money that it comes with. A lot of actual underground artists who are barely getting views, followers, likes, wish they can actually have a charting song. Like, the fact that you can have a song chart and be considered underground is crazy. Like, that literally just doesn't make any sense at all. Like, if you could chart, you're not underground, you're literally mainstream at that point. Like, these guys be selling around 20, 30, 40k in album sales, not to mention charting on Apple Music, literally having viral songs all over Instagram, TikTok, and other social media platforms. And for some strange reason, people still call these niggas underground. Like, that shit really just doesn't make any sense at all. In order for a rapper to be considered mainstream, they need to make a movement and cultural impact that catches the eyes of potential new fans and even those who don't even listen to their music. Whether it's through making good music, fashion, going viral, all of these things are things that can be used for an artist to make a movement and cultural impact to go mainstream. Let me give you an example. Opium artists like Ken and Long have a major influence on this new generation of Gen Z and Alpha, whether it's through their music, fashion, virality. These artists all have created a new movement that young people feel cool to get behind, and this just goes to show that these artists are mainstream, because the previous generation of SoundCloud artists from the 2010s went on to do the same exact thing. And on top of that, it's not just Ken and Long. Multiple underground artists follow their same alternative, whatever you want to call it. It's like this grunge alternative aesthetic that's very popular among the underground, and this aesthetic alone has gave new life to this new movement, and it's doing a lot of cultural impact, because you could literally see this movement unfold in front of our eyes. Not to mention, every time you open TikTok, you literally can see this movement. Like, and this movement is not going to stop no time sooner. This movement is going to get bigger as time progresses. Like, and that's what it means to be mainstream. You need to make a cultural impact. You need to get people to know who you are besides just your music. And a lot of mainstream rappers like Travis Scott, Youngboy, Rod Wave, Chief Keef, etc., even Playboi Carti, and he's the father of this new generation of rappers, even he made a cultural impact on this mainstream, whether you like it or not. I I ain't even gonna lie, like, this is really just funny just thinking about this shit, because niggas really call these rappers underground. Like, bro, artists like Nettspend, Osamason, Ken, these artists are having tons of international success, specifically in Europe. The fact millions from a whole nother country are listening to your music, not to mention you're charting in these European markets. On top of that, making money in these European markets, in my opinion, that alone make you mainstream. Nettspend is a so-called underground artist with 1 million plus listeners, and he's getting ready to do a European tour. Destroy Lonely, another artist also considered underground, he has 3 million listeners. Literally only 2 more million listeners than Nettspend, also did a European tour as well. And every time these so-called underground artists go to Europe, they always sell out. That just goes to show that these guys are internationally known, whether you like it or not. I know that the numbers might not seem like or reflecting that, but you guys have to give respect where it's due. These artists are literally popping it everywhere globally. Like, a lot of actual underground artists, they really wish they can literally go perform rock out shows overseas. Like, y'all don't understand how much of a big accomplishment that shit is. Like, news, television, magazines, radios, these were the traditional mainstream media throughout the 90s and 2000s, and these were the medias that you needed to get guaranteed mainstream success as an artist. The previous generation of SoundCloud rappers all got lucky to enjoy traditional mainstream media. And I remember growing up as a kid, I remember seeing a lot of my favorites growing up, like Lil Uzi, Trippie Redd, Cardi. Like, these guys, even Travis Scott, he literally was on the episode of Ridiculousness, and that was one of my favorite shows growing up. Like, these rappers were all literally on TV. So in a way, this really helped boost their numbers up. And like I said, a lot of these niggas were blowing up around the 2010s. The 2010 was one of the last decades where traditional media was king. Yes, social media and the internet was around, but still, people were still following traditional media, because during the 2010s, the internet, it was like, it was there, but like, it wasn't really as like, it didn't really have this much of a strong impact on like the whole world as it did today, because during the 2010s, the internet really only had an impact on the younger generation. Nowadays, both old and younger generations are all on the internet. And in my opinion, this has made the internet a new mainstream media, whether you like